What up, bro? How are you guys? How's everybody doing? Alright, let's start doing our higher time frame analysis and let's see what we got. What's up, gang? MT Trading, how are you? What up, Jonathan? Amateur FX, my dude, how are you? Deleted user, what's up, dog? So this monthly is driving. As of right now, our monthly candle is driving bullish. We're just straight bullish, 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 bullish. Previous weekly closed bearish. Current weekly respected previous weekly lows and is now driving up. We have hit a daily level here that coincides with this resistance here, aligning with this level here. The daily did indeed close above. Pretty cleanly above. Not super far, but decently enough to consider it a full closure above. Our next 4 hour came and closed not quite above here, but we closed back into the current range that we have here. We don't have a top wick on the daily, and we don't have a top wick on the 4 hour. The chances of us coming up for a top wick are actually quite high. The hourly time frame, no top, no bottom wick on the previous hourly closure. And we have broken back down into this minor range inside of the overall 4 hour time frame. It does look like we're breaking the trend line here, retesting and starting to drive down. It looks like we are confirming this level as resistance, but will it be resistance without another retest of the highs? I mean, we don't have a top wick on our daily candle. That's the tough part right now, because sells don't look bad from here on the 30-minute time frame especially, but yeah, we're already getting a closure back into this range. We attempted to drive out these first 15 minutes but failed. Came back and closed back in range. What up, Dev? Fled. Fledged. I don't know how to say your name. Flecht. Is that close enough? Um, yes, I'm streaming Monday through Thursday, Asian session. And we were doing a pip count in the beginning of the stream. Um, but it was taking up way too much space on my screen, so I stopped doing the pip count. We were up like, how many streams have I streamed in total? I'll let you know right now what the pip count was before I stopped counting. We were up 150 pips on stream the last time before I cut it. So I've only been doing a win and loss. How many wins and how many losses? Because a lot of since this is not a signal service, um you have to manage the trades yourself. You're just watching me take the trades and manage it. What's it called? A lot of the times the other guys come out a lot better. So that's why I stopped doing a pip count, because on Forex here, the pip count is much higher than it is on futures. For example, last night we took two trades um that both hit break even on my end, but on gold over here, it drove like 20 pips. I only saw like 4 or 5 pips. I got hit break even. It counted as a break even for me, but for everybody else, it was like a 10-20 pip W. And like the drawdown that we got caught in yesterday that I took the loss in, or I was basically here, where I took a buy here, or I took a buy here. We went into drawdown. No, that was 3 p.m. It was here. Where I took a buy somewhere here. I got stuck in drawdown. I got out for a loss, and then price kept driving. A lot of people messaged me saying that they continue holding for the rest of the push. And I think we had 3 entries here, so the rest of the push would have been like 100 pips. But knowing that we're starting to close back in range, price is starting to drive down now. We just had a closure back in range, and we're in this smaller range here. There's 48 pips in this range. It's so crazy the manipulation we're seeing in the crypto space of all these insiders. So they just caught some guy. All of this is in the blockchain. The first trader took a trade in front of the crypto reserves and then proceeded to short it in front of tariffs. He knew the news was coming out beforehand, so he longed. And then he knew the tariffs were coming short after, so he shorted. The person 50x'd his leverage and is now up $10.5 million before Trump announced tariffs. Homie knew the tariffs were coming. And he sold the market prior to the news. The news fucking dumped and he made $10 million. And it's all available on the blockchain. We just had an hourly closure. Hourly candle came up, is starting to grab not much of a top wick. We did have a 30-minute closure below. The 30-minute is coming up. What's up, Jay? What up, gang? What are we doing here? This is chop. I want to get out of here. Get out of this choppy zone. Thinking of taking sells here on the rebreak of that hourly low. I'm not too sure with the 15-minute, the way that it closed like this. I might just disregard it completely. 56 pip bottom wick. That's not bad. We actually have a small gap here. Yeah, if we can continue breaking the lows, I mean, even then, we have this level here, this level here. Sells are tough. If we didn't have this wick down, and it was just like this, and this was our daily low, I would be taking sells there. Yeah, Trump is speaking at 9. There, I changed the name to Trump speech. If he starts talking, I'll start playing it. If it would have played out. I'm not a big fan of this range that we're in. If I would have set sell stops there, would they have played out? Nice. You're a savage. Facts, spaceman. Facts. I knew I should have drank some coffee before stream. I was like, nah, I'll go off of willpower. I'll be a man about it. No. Sorry. I was just testing something out because I wanted to take a sell stop there earlier, but I decided against it because of the 15-minute time frame. So I just set my this there to see what would happen if it would at least hit the 10 pips or not. Which it looks like it is, right? Let's see. I'm gonna join you guys on the speech. Later, my brother. Take it easy. It's too late for that. Sell stop. Hmm. Ain't that some shit? It's 15 pips. Later, brother. Take it easy. Make sure you drop that like a Ruski. That sell stop would have been pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie, I should be in this. I should be in the second push here. I didn't have my levels marked up on futures here. If only you would have tapped this level, you little bitch. I would have taken the money printer flip. This is quite annoying when your levels are off by 9 pips and it does the perfect 25 pip pullback setup. So what do we have here? We have some minor resistances here. They can get us a push back down. If this one flips bearish, I'm gonna have a sell stop. Or not. No way, that activated me by a fucking hair. And that's a full closure for 13 pips. Money printer. Oh, you had your TP at the bottom here. Damn, I set my TP at the bottom of this wick here because I didn't think that was fucking 15 pips. I did not think this was 22 pips. I did not think. Why did I have 40 pips? That's one of my biggest downfalls, that I'm not looking at pips. I'm not looking at the size of these ranges. I'm looking at levels and candles, and that's it. Today on NQ, I almost took a massive loss, not realizing, holy shit, these pullbacks were 300 pips. 300 pips, bro. I almost got destroyed. I was like, what the hell? Where was the trade that I took? Yeah, I thought about taking buys too. Right here at the bottom, but my money printer level was right here. Where was it? Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. I don't know, just... I think my entry was right here. I think I took a rebreak of the high here, and it pulled back 516 pips. 516 pips, bro. Divide that by 2, so make that 260 pips. That pullback was 260 pips. You know where I had the pineapple at? I had the pineapple out inside of these 5-minute candles. I was like, I cannot take that drawdown. No way. And luckily that was the trade that won the account. I think it was like here, bro. I drove up, I took a pineapple, hit TP, but I was like, dude, this was a 300 400 pip pullback, bro, and on the 1-minute time frame. If you take on gold, that would be a $5,000 loss, which would blow the entire account. On NQ, that would be 2,500. You're looking at this and you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna set my stop loss till maybe like right here. Maybe I want pineapple to here. Nah, bro, I got a pineapple right here. Fuck, I had to get out. I did not measure the ranges, bro. I was not measuring. I was just looking at straight up price, looking at the candles, and I said, bet. Send. Full send. That's also probably what happened last night, why I closed at a loss, feeling a little bit uncomfortable in the position. Because of how much drawdown I was in, not how much drawdown I was in, not realizing the daily low was 80 pips away. Had I known the daily low was 80 pips away, my first pineapple wouldn't have been taken there. I would have taken the second pineapple only, which would have resulted in a W. But I pineappled early. Once I realized, oh, I mean, I pineappled early, not knowing that it was that deep. I was like, oh yeah, that's probably like 50 pips, three positions. One will lose 50, the other one loses 100, and then the other one loses like 20. So that would be like 170. So that would kill all of my profits for today and the Asian session from the day before. If we didn't have such a short level right here, I would continue the sell stops down, but that's only 13 pips. And we've already tapped it here. Pay attention. This could be the setup for the bullish flip. We're heading to a 4-hour level now. We are headed to a 4-hour level. We gotta be patient. I can't just take another sell into this level. We're only 10 pips away. If we were 30 pips away from this level, I can sell into that level easily with the setup. So the reason this is dumping is because continual China news keeps coming out. At 7:30, China unveiled their economic policy about an hour ago. They unveiled a lot of details about their GDP growth and how they're trying to target their budget deficit, and how where they have their trillions of dollars invested in their own stock market. Um, they upped their investments into the government, and China's also aims to stabilize real estate and stock markets while maintaining long-term growth plans. So they're experiencing a lot of good news. So I keep getting notifications for China, so that's the only thing that I'm thinking that's causing this dump without this bottom wick. Where are you seeing the news? Forex Factory. Oh, not this news, no. So, Market Mechanic put me on this person on Twitter called the Short Bear. Look him up, called the Short Bear. I have all my notifications turned on whenever he speaks. So, for example, earlier he said the U.S. sent 175 billion. Trump wants 500 billion back in rare earths. That's a 42% IRR over 3 years. Never forget, it's profitable for the U.S. to be involved in war despite common belief, either in direct payments or indirectly through influence or geopolitical advantages. Early to get lost in the headlines and easy to get lost in the headlines and emotions. So like news like that, that's important, right? So even though we lost money in this war, we're gonna get it back on the back end, and we're gonna profit from millions of people dying. Not millions, hundreds of thousands of people injured and tens of thousands dead. So you see how this world is so fucked, and that's why you just need the war to end, bro. It should have never started. Then there's no profiting off the fucking war. It should have never started, bro. I don't know. I wonder what Trump would have done if he was in office when Putin decided to invade. I wonder if he would have said, "Hey, buddy, I got a big red button here. Do you want to end this right now, or do you want to play it nice?" Thanks, Eddie. You're welcome, my bro. Those buys were beautiful right here, too. That was the cleanest buy setup. This was also a clean buy setup. On gold here we tapped, but we did not tap here. And I don't see the bottom. Wow, that was a shit bottom wick here. I mean, you gotta stretch that bitch out. You gotta stretch it out like crazy to see that. On here, it's cleaner. We're having a 30-minute closure, the 5-minute ugly bottom wick. We're closing back into range. Are we gonna refill this entire range up? Let's see. Let's get a pullback. Oh, look at that. Are we gonna get a retest of the lows again before coming up? How many pips to the bottom of the range? 50 pips. How many did you catch so far? One trade for 15 pips. Or 13 pips. Sorry. Trying to see what this candle's about to do. We just had a 5-minute closure. We did come down for the bottom wick on the 5-minute. Can we get the scoop? Alright, so we are getting the scoop on the 1-minute. I'm gonna have a buy stop. If we start to break above here. I caught 30, but my dumbass clicked sells, and when I went to hover over the button to market and cancel, I fat fingered and closed it, and it dropped 40 pips after. I still got 3 other trades in though. Bro, that happened to me the other day. I had 2 pineapples in, so I was in 2 contracts, and I set my market execution to 2 so that I can set my TP, and then I left it at 2. And then when I went to pineapple, I added 2 extra positions on accident. And then I was like, no, I gotta close these 2 extra positions, and then or I gotta close one of these 2 positions. And when I click close, it closed my worst fill and then left me with the best ones at the bottom. And I'm like, what the fuck? It just closed me out 1 and 50 pips negative. So then I had to like manage the trade differently and hold for a larger profit to account for the 50 pip closure. Because if you take one pineapple, if you take a buy, I don't know, if you took a buy here, and then a buy here, and then a buy here, and then you go to sell one of them, it'll automatically sell the worst one and keep these 2. When I wanted to close the 2 that I opened down here and leave only one, or close one of the 2. So because I opened 1, 2, it was gonna be 3, but I added 2 more, making it 4. I said, okay, I'm gonna remove 1, keeping it at 3, and then it deleted this one, and then it kept 1, 2, 3 down here. So my average was all the way down here versus the one that was all the way up there. "30-minute closure bearish. We're still gonna need a top wick on that 30-minute before flipping and coming back down. The 15-minute, oh, I'm gonna wait for this 30 closure. It's only a minute and a half. We don't want some fuckery to happen. Waiting for the higher time frame closures is always your best bet. Even if it drives, even if it goes and it starts flying and past our buy stop, I'm waiting that minute and a half for the closure here. It's for me, the safest bet. There's not too much confirmation that this is the low for the continuation for me not to wait for this 30-minute. I mean, we only have 5 minutes of confirmation that this could be the low. Whereas on the high here, we hovered for a while. So let's see. China news though, so Chinese people could be buying more gold now. Even though the news said that they invested more into their own securities and bonds and shit, and it didn't say anything about gold. Oh look, we just got the cross here. That's clean. That might invalidate. I might not need that to wait for that 30 closure. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my buy stop here. This is just too clean. A lot of volume right now. Wow. A lot of volume. Let's see what it do here. See if we can get a flip and rebreak. Do you guys hear my dog? What'd you say fuck on then, Jay? Ah, I didn't miss them. I haven't caught them yet. So I give my levels like a leeway of like 3 to 4 pips because if I do enter and let's say it does come back and draw down and taps my level, well, it still tapped my level. I'm just 4 pips early. You see what I'm saying? Um, So I give it a little range just in case to not try to be too picky on the exact number. That's my break-even point. I was off by like 2 hairs or whatever. It broke. It should get a pop. We shouldn't get a pullback at all. It should just straight pop to the side, to the upside. Yep. If it doesn't continue, it's gonna struggle. Yep.
Yo, do you happen to have singles, bro? I can't fucking find my wallet.
Do I have what?
Do you have singles? Because I can't find my wallet right now.
Hold up. That just took me out. China to be using large-scale artificial intelligence models. The reason I didn't pineapple here is because with the probability of my trades giving me between 20 and 30 pips the majority of the time, um, I gave my idea more room to play out, especially with the way that we were rejecting here. If we weren't breaking these lows, I wasn't looking for pineapples. So it did give me 11 pips in total. I mean, I could have closed for 11 pips. But that wasn't the idea. So our 30-minute closure, our 30-minute is still bearish here. Our 15 is still bearish. We have no top wick on the previous 15 candle. We just money printed down. And now we're coming back up. I'm off by like a minute. What's up with China, man? Tighten up. Yeah. If we can confirm more support here, we can keep buying. What do you guys think will cause Trump's speech XA to go up or down? So, what we've been seeing lately, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Trump says something, the market dumps. He says something again, reiterating a few things, the market recovers. He announces new tariffs, market dumps. He comes back up and says, yeah, we're working on a deal. Watch, just wait, don't worry. The next day, China and Canada deals are in talks. Within an hour, the market is starting to reverse back up to where it was prior to him announcing the tariffs. So when he announces something, it causes fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, in the market. People start to jump to things like gold. That's a safe haven. That causes it to go up. And then Trump clarifies and says, this is how it's going to be good for us. And the market recovers. With gold, usually the first announcement is bearish or is bullish because of the uncertainty. But in this, we've been downtrending for the entire day. Since 3 p.m., we just started downtrending. So is this liquidity for the Trump push, right? What's up, Terpy? See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, my bro. I'm sorry I said that 20 minutes late. I wasn't looking over there on that side. Yeah, it looks like we might just continue up here. I pulled back 35 pips from my entry. That's ugly. This money printer kind of played out. That was a slow grind for 17 pips. There wasn't even a closure at 10 until this wick up. And we're still above the moving averages on the 5. Let's wait for them to start to catch up or something. Let's give it some time. See if I can get the Trump thing on here. No, it's lagging. Probably play it on my phone. China to implement specific measures to substitute local government undisclosed debt. A lot of China news coming out right now. Yeah, man, Andrew Tate has gone crazy. He is insane. What up, dude? Listen, dude, when you haven't seen the gym crush since last week, shit. We're gonna start driving now, you punani. And you're gonna close with no top wick on the 5 minute. But our 15's got a top wick. We have resistance here. See, we're in this major chop zone here. That's likely the reason why it's struggling. Let's see if it can break out above and on the 1 minute give us structure above here. And then I can take buys to continue up filling the daily range. I don't even want to look at that shit. Yo, if you guys are listening to this, drop a like. If you're not listening to this, also drop a like. No? Alright, I'm about to ban you for 3 years, bro. Ban for 3 years. Just kidding. Oh yeah, I was talking shit about chat to my cousin, so I had to mute Mike. I'm just kidding. If you're up 187 pips, how come you can't share none with me, dude? Let me have 10. Did you get them yet? Huh. Let me hit this and I'll tell you right now. Watch this. I got it, bro. Thank you. Any tips for quitting the ganja? You just gotta stop. You feel a couple anxiety. You feel anxiety for a few days because you of the habit of smoking nonstop.
Yo.
So that's one thing that it's a mood stabilizer. So if you're naturally angry and you smoke and it calms you down and you're not as angry, you're gonna now have to learn how to regulate your emotions on your own instead of using something else to regulate your emotions, right? So if you're using it to like help you calm down and shit like that, like some people are bipolar and it might make their mood stabilize or whatever. Um, if that's you, I know some people that are just they just rage. They just have rage in them, and for some reason they just fucking rage. And that's me. That's how I am. For some reason, some things just trigger me, and I just wanna, you know what I mean? But you really get to know yourself when you get sober. But like I stopped smoking for several months, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll be healthier. You know, I'll be able to lift more in the gym. I'll be more productive. And for me, it didn't make a single difference. For me, I do my best work sitting on my desk with the joint in my hand. For me, I've done my best work 420'd out. But everybody's different. I know some people that the second they smoke, they start falling asleep. They smoke in the morning before work and the whole day they're gonna be slow. It's not the case for me. Um, bro, I know a guy that had to stop smoking because he couldn't stop eating. Every time that he smoked, he would devour the fridge. So it's really your personality and how it accentuates your personality that makes it difficult. You'll be alright. Yeah, that same thing happens to me. I don't get it doesn't give me the munchies anymore. I mean, I deadlifted 405 for reps after hitting a dab and eating a McChicken. Give me the letter. So it all depends on what it's doing for you, how it's affecting you. If it's killing your pockets and you get can't pay your bills, you gotta cut the shit out. And the good thing about it is that after like 2 days, you won't even remember. Literally after like 2 days, you're back to normal. After it's completely flushed out of your system. Especially if you sauna. It's also a habit. It's like biting your nails. Biting my nails is not an addiction. It's a habit that I've been doing my entire life. So to break a habit is very, very difficult. You're streaming Trump's talk? I'm gonna try to see. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it on my phone and then just put it next to the mic. I think if I live stream that while I'm live streaming this, it'll and the volume from Trump going and the so excuse me. So whenever there's a lot of volume in the markets, trading view lags. Trading view starts taking up more of the RAM, I guess. So if I have multiple streams on, it might. If you got 30 years smoking, you have picked. It depends what you've been smoking. If you've been smoking blunts, you have tobacco tolerance and you have an addiction to tobacco. The tobacco you have to now knock the tobacco off. You're gonna feel like. But if you've been smoking joints, it's probably easier with joints. I don't quite enjoy joints as much. I'm Cuban. I prefer the cigar flavor. Yeah, take some collagen for them joints. Now you think it's a joke, but for men that are balding, you need to be taking collagen. You need to be taking all of the multivitamins and you need to be eating very, very well. You need to be watching your diet. You can't have a high saturated fat diet. You have to clean your scalp with antifungal stuff. So like even vitamin things like that, bro. Even like eating good food with high in vitamins. If you're not healthy and you're balding and things like that, but change your diet, bro. You might grow your hair back just changing your diet. I'm not a big fan of liver. I would have to like season it very well. swallow it, chug some water, and then eat some filet mignon right after. You know what else is nutrient dense? Eggs. Soak it in milk and then season it, bro. You want me to throw up, dude. The thing is, that's the way our ancestors ate and survived for hundreds of thousands of years. When they killed an animal, they didn't have a fucking multivitamin they can go eat. No, they ate the liver and they split that shit because they're like, ah, damn, we gotta eat liver at least twice a week to keep our vitamins up. Ever, I like to be as natural as possible. Pharmaceuticals are very good to a certain extent. If this guy doesn't pull up at exactly 9 o'clock on time, I'm calling him the second best president we've ever had. The first best would be the first Donald Trump. You know that old bald guy holding that big ass camera is tired as hell. Why would you make grandpa hold that camera and not the young girl that's right next to him? DEI, man, come on. The woman should be holding the big camera. We're still respecting this level. I'm gonna wait. I like whenever Trump speak, gold fucking flies. And if we bounce off support and we start getting some good setups, I want to be in that. I'm up 14 pips for the session after commissions, so that must mean that first trade closed me out at like 16 pips and not 13 like I thought. Because the second trade went break even, so that would have been commissions on 4 contracts minus 13 pips, so it would be like 10 pips, but it's really 14, so I must have caught like 18 pips. Nice. Oh, look, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, look, whoever that is. What the hell? Her chin, they got her ass. They got her so bad, bro. Why would they do that to her? Did you see that? Why would they do that to her? Why would they do that? She's probably watching on her phone and she's like, oh, damn. Oh, no. Who's walking in? Melania Trump, hey. That rejected hard. How many pips was that? Whoa, 20 pips in a 1 minute candle. You remember when Don was streaming back in like 2023 and he was like, yo, you guys remember back in 2020 when we had like 50 pip 5 minute candles and now we're having 20, 30 pip 1 minute candles? He was like, oh, I want to get back to those times. And I'm like, bro, all you had to do was wait. All you had to do was wait. I used to think, oh man, I missed the best times in trading, man. I missed the wave, bro. I'm learning now at the hardest time to trade when these ranges are tiny, man. And then, yeah, stacked on those buys. You're a savage. If that's the lower high for a continuation up, I would like to see a break above this level, some support being formed, and then a rebreak of the high, and then I'm in there like swimwear. If we start flying up like on the 1 minute, then I'll look for some minor structure on the 1 minute before taking that buy. But who knows? This China news is causing this to go to dump. All this China news is causing this dump. That how China's doing very, very well. Maybe China's selling their gold and going back to their stock market. I don't know how that works. Nice, Bougie. How you been, man? Jay, did you catch the buys on that? The only person that caught the buys here are the people that pressed buy. All the other ones that didn't press it were sitting here on the sidelines. I'm on Apex. I just got my another account today. So, I'm going to be depositing into my live account and then trading my live account on stream and then linking that to my other accounts. I had a top step 50K, but I blew it. The top step 50K kind of upset me with the scaling plan because I trade 2 contracts, then I pineapple for 2 more. Worst case, I trade 6 contracts for a 0.6 in total on the 50K for full risk of a 0.6. With Top Step, you're only allowed 2 contracts. So I either had to choose between 1 micro and then a second micro pineapple or a 1 lot and a second lot. And I was like, wow. In order for me to scale this account using the micros, it's going to take me double as long or triple as long as it would take me on Apex. So I have to use a 1 lot and just send it. And I ended up blowing it. Too much risk for a 50K live account. Especially when you can only take 2 pineapples. There's no third. You're forced to take the loss. My future funds, my funded futures, my brother. That was hilarious. That reminds me of the post that I posted on Instagram. Look at how my dad spelled circuit board. What the hell? Bro, you know who keeps liking my story without following me, which I think it's weird? This guy. Doji GG or Dodges DG, whatever this guy's name is. Look, you can see right there, he liked my story 20 hours ago. Right there, Doji. One time I messaged him and I'm like, yo, why are you liking my story? And he goes, that's not a bot, that's me. I'm like, alright, bro. It's weird. Yeah, Dom still streams. What are you saying, Trumpadoodle? Are you talking? No. This drive, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. How far will it be? We just popped up with no bottom wick, with no top wick there. That's a 5-minute closure. We're starting to break back above the level that we rejected earlier, my 10 pip level. This is where my entry was. So if I would have held the whole entry, I would have been in drawdown for 40 pips. I'm gonna have a buy stop here. I'm actually gonna delete it and I'm gonna wait and see what the first few words of this guy's mouth are. I honestly gotta wait for him to say something. In reality, I really have to wait. We can be taking trades now. It might not be bad. Depends how steep we pull back. I might reset my buy stop. But man, this guy could literally say, our gold reserves are empty. And gold will literally go shoot up in value because America has none. It's scarce. Are you guys interested in any buys? It's looking like it's priming itself for the motherfucking, yeah, the money printer sells before that push up. The only difference is that right now we've broken the trend here and we're starting to push up after grabbing orders below by the daily low once again. So a pop bullish here would still be quite valid. This is a strong area for resistance, but I think it's a much stronger area for buys. But to really confirm, I want to see that. We don't have a bottom wick on the hourly, but it doesn't really matter too much. Look at how we're moving here. Pullback would be nice. But this is the buys that we were looking earlier. Now that we're forming higher support over here after grabbing more orders, how steep can this push be?
Mr. Speaker, United States.
Like a full-blown taco to complete. Trump, 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 Trump. Please don't deport me. Yo tengo papeles. No, me fue la otra. ¿Ah? What? Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a real confirmation here because if this is gonna fucking fly, it's gonna fly and reflip the daily candle to create a daily high. So we have plenty of room to catch an entry. Not yet. Five-minute light candle respected for me. Yup, and 15-minute no top wick first. I want some more sells. Sell, sell, sell. After fasting. No, I don't have a Discord. Damn. There's that push. USA. Yes, sir. America's back, baby. What are the two words that come out of your mouth next? What are you gonna say? Are you gonna say gold, drive, gold? All right. All right, enough clapping. Speak. There she goes. There she goes. Them clapping for this guy saying USA caused gold to pump. What up, Chris? ¿Cómo te fue, papi? ¿Lo pasaste o no lo pasaste? ¿Cogiste los últimos 25 peps?
It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States, members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Hey, that's exactly what I said, baby. Trump, are you copying me, man?
Six weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
Nice, bro. I activated this one already and started trading it. I caught a 15 pips here on the sells, or on the on the sells, and then I caught break even here, but the buys ended up playing out here. I was looking for buys here. That was a 31 pip drive. If we start to respect this support here, who's this old guy that just stood up and started pointing at Trump? This guy. Watch.
A map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Hey, he pointed right at him. He's a Republican.
For the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record. 27-point swing, the most ever.
We have the most savage U.S. president we've ever had.
Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
To uphold and maintain the quorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions.
They're trying to fuck with him.
Members are continuing breach of the quorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the sergeant at arms to restore order to the joint session.
If you can't shut up, you gotta get out. That's not a place to debate.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
He wants to get arrested in front of everybody.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
He didn't even say strike one. He said no. What is it? No tolerance. You got a solid gold cane there, buddy. How can you afford that on a $100,000 salary? We're trying to get in positions here, and this man is literally stopping us. Ever since he stood up, what did gold do?
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks,
Okay.
I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400
Stop
executive
it.
actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land.
What's that mean?
The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
All of them in that room are looking at their Robinhood accounts right now. All of them.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that?
Hey.
I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and border patrol to
Blah,
prevent
blah.
the invasion of our country.
Stab me.
And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month.
I have a
And
touchdown.
virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress.
No
And once
top
again,
lid.
I look at the Democrats in front of me,
Money printer on
and
the
I realize
15.
there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people
Damn, that was a
sitting
good money
right
printer here.
will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
I was looking for a sell stop here on the rebreak of this low. But over here, we respected it. Here,
So
we
Democrats
broke
sitting
below.
before me,
That's the difference. I would have
just
taken it
as
on
one
futures,
night,
but not
why
on.
not join
on
us
gold
in
here.
celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again. Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Foreign aid, all of it.
Terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
So do you want to go outside?
Government, where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good.
You pick him up and take him. My dog is being gay. He's trying to go out while I'm trying to take a trade.
Stop all government censorship.
My cousin can go get him. He hid from you now.
In America.
Yeah, forget about him. He can wait. Yo, look at that shit.
2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
English, motherfucker, learn it. Do you speak it?
The Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America.
This doesn't make sense to me why gold is dumping.
Likewise, I renamed for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska.
You got a lot of
We've
support here.
ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
We know this, my friend. Something about gold, please.
Country will be woke no longer.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything. I've been contemplating, but I haven't made a decision.
I believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
Yeah, I keep seeing both setups.
You should be
And we're at major support, and I'm trying to wait for him to say something
Supreme
important.
Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
How does gold react to male and female? Gold dumps at male and female.
Also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
I guess gold loves the trans.
Years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding. If you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Nancy Pelosi ain't clapping.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history.
We respected this low here, so we're taking re-breaks of the lows now. I'm not really too sure, so I'm waiting for a closure below to see what happens. All I know is, bro, America, America, America.
The price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control.
Fix it.
We're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
You better drop the fucking egg prices down.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
Rare earth minerals. So does that mean that electric vehicles are going to be cheaper now, so I can buy a Tesla truck and put it on some 80-inch rims and drive around like a redneck?
We will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but we'll be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. To that end, I created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. Perhaps you heard of it. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who's in the gallery tonight. Working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
Bro, what are they spending money on, bro?
LGBTQI plus in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street.
We have homeless people on the streets, and we're giving circumcisions to Mozambicans for $30 million.
$1.9 billion to recently created decarbonization of homes committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 billion for voter confidence in Liberia, $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning.
This is literally proof that they could solve all of our issues. They could solve all of the homelessness. They can solve everything we've ever needed
Of education.
if they really wanted to, but they don't.
Under the Trump administration, all
You
of
really
these
think the
scams
motherfuckers in
and their
Mozambique are getting
followers felt everything
circumcised?
was appropriate.
You really think the $30 million that went to that went for those motherfuckers to
Many
get
more have
circumcised?
been
No, it
found
didn't.
out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people,
I don't like this.
headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation. And we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150
Trying to see how we can get some buys here.
And over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
This man cracks jokes.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going. And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments, and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families. And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. With that goal in mind,
This
we have
dump, and I
developed
was
in
looking
great
for
detail
buys
what we are
on the break of
calling
these
the
highs here.
Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million,
I was afraid of this
we
coming
will
down to fill
allow
the
the
wick.
most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for
That's pretty dope.
a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
If we get this 30 flip, I'm taking buys on the flip of the 30.
Federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Hourly closure coming up.
The next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there, they're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax. very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security.
That's what I'm hoping, that eventually this guy says something so off that gold starts to flip bullish. I'm definitely looking to hunt for that top wick for the daily. So like right here on market open, we made a small top wick here and then we dumped. We came back and tried to retest it, failed. Came back, tried to retest this level, failed to drive. We grabbed liquidity here, but we never really broke these lows here.
By the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Yeah, this is what I was afraid of, taking buys here, that we could fill this wick all the way back down.
This has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto
Not gonna lie, it's looking very
100%.
bearish. It's looking like this man's gonna say another word and this is just gonna rebreach the low.
What we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. Never was, and so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st. I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us for other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. Seems fair.
To keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. It's a lot of that too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others. And the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. Been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada. But we have very large deficits with both of them, but even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They are, in fact, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars, paying subsidies to Canada, to Mexico, of hundreds of billions of dollars. And the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in
Damn, I
have
muted the
done
mic.
if Kamala had won. Apple
Good night, brother.
announced
Yeah, I'm still looking. We're still
$500
respecting these
investment.
lows.
Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast
Salt?
enough. It's going to be much higher than
Yeah,
that.
there's
I
a
believe.
pink Himalayan
They'll
salt
be
in the kitchen.
building their plants here instead of in China.
Huh?
And just
No, you'll see it
yesterday,
once you order.
Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most
I also
powerful
have
in
sea
the world,
salt, whichever one you like.
has a
I think the pink
tremendous
salt's the
amount,
better.
97% of the market. Announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA. And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Hey, any other reason you want to, that means spend it on your boat.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now.
Let's
So
see.
to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too.
If you were in buys there and then you took pineapples here, you're probably out in crazy profit. And
And
if you
I've
stack
also
down
imposed
here,
a
you're probably up
25% tariff on foreign
like 50
aluminum,
pips.
copper, lumber, and steel because
Actually,
if
I
we don't
scratched,
have, as an
and I
example,
scratched
steel
at 2902
and lots of other
something, and I
things, we
scratched
don't have
again,
a
and I
military
got
and
out
frankly
at
won't have, we just
2906.
won't have a country very
Not at
long.
2908, much sooner.
Here
and I need
today is a
126.
proud American
Holy
steelworker,
shit.
Sufficient.
fantastic person
Absolutely not.
from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard
That was a clean trade.
has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain.
Yeah, I'm just
of
really
his
being
local
trying to be
volunteer
patient,
fire
waiting
department,
for the buy here.
raised 7
Because
children
once
with
this shit
his
starts flying up to
beautiful
the
wife,
daily
Nicole,
highs, man,
and over the years
I agree with
provided
you,
loving
options.
home for more than 40 foster
It's off the
children.
clock, brother.
So great, Jeff.
Our hourly opened up. Our hourly is flipping. Our 30 is about to break that previous 30 high.
Thank you, Jeff.
Mhm.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh.
Holy
And look,
shit.
and look where Biden took us.
Yeah, I'm
Very
taking a
low, the
buy stop
lowest
on the
we've
flip of
ever
this
been.
candle.
Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States. Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by two impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher.
I got a pencil.
And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It
Wow.
Down Act. This is so important. Thank you very much, John. John, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To
Good
criminalize
shit,
the
Bougie.
publication of
Yeah,
such
the thing
images
is that
online.
depending on the words that came out of his mouth, however the market felt, we were either going to get this pushed this way or we were going to get this pushed the other way.
Thank you.
So it was literally up to the break of this or the low, really, at this point. After we respected here and we came back to this high, if this didn't break us through, it was 100% gonna fucking pull us back over here. That's the
is more crucial than securing America's
shit
borders.
part about that,
Over the
but
past 4 years,
I think it's still
21 million
valid, even
people
even if
poured
it
into
shoots
the
up. We'll
United
start
States.
creating
Many
higher
of them
lows
were
here.
Murderers, human traffickers,
What's the
gang members, and
DXY
other
doing?
criminals from the streets of dangerous cities
The DXY is just
all
pumping.
throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open
I'll tell you
border
what,
policy,
if this re-breaks the
they're
low and starts
slowly
coming
embedded
down
in
to these lows
our
once again,
country.
I'm gonna delete
But
the
we
buy
are
stops.
getting them out and
My
getting them
entry
out
would be invalid,
fast.
and I'm just gonna call it. If we don't respect this and flip, I'm gonna call it.
Tom Homan and Christy, I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, A brilliant 22-year-old.
That's the money printer on the 15. If this flips bearish, that shit is
The
gone.
best in her class, admired
We're
by
still
everybody,
respecting here.
went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Lakin was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Lakin was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set
I'm gonna
loose
delete
into
it for
the
now
United States
and
under
see
the
how it
harmless
starts to come up
policies of
here.
that failed
I'm
administration.
gonna give it until the
Was indeed
15-minute
a failed
closure.
administration. He had then been arrested and released in
Because if we get a 15-minute bullish closure, that'd be the first 15 minutes bullish closure. We would still need a bottom wick before a flip up to take the trade. So we don't want to get caught in the push up. It activates us, and then we have the no top wick on the 15. We get a 5-6 pip push up, and then it rejects down to refill the lows. That's what we don't want. We should have formed some sort of support here and not turned it into this much resistance.
Last year, I told Lakin's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
Damn.
It's called the
You gotta journal every day, bro.
So Allison and Lauren,
We got the
America
same
will
shit.
never ever forget our beautiful Lincoln rally.
It's November 14th. I've been journaling. Yeah, I guess I'm deep into this shit.
Thank you very much.
I'm deep all
Since
the way.
taking
I'm halfway
office,
through
my
the book.
administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown
Yeah, bro.
in American
Me and my cousin just pulled out his journal, and he was journaling some notes and stuff like that, and I pulled out my journal and I was showing him how I also journal, and some of my best moments in my life have been because I journal, and some of the most down times have been because I don't journal, and I don't track my trades, and I don't track my progress, and I don't pay attention to what I'm doing. So journaling or writing down your thoughts really cements that shit in your brain.
friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it.
Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America. But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis
Oh, that slipped me.
Nungary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are two illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about
I'm going break
Jocelyn
even
is
here.
that she
That
loved
15 no
animals
top
so
wick.
much. She loved nature. Across
We
Galveston
can literally
Bay,
just
from
dump
where
right here.
Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine,
Let's get a
peaceful,
steeper top wick at least.
34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America.
That's 10 pips.
Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed.
And that's a beautiful trade for the last 15 minutes. Took 10 on that as well. And I'm going to call it right then and there, motherfucker. 25 pips for the session.
If you would, may I have the order?
I'm done with the evaluations now. I'm not taking any more evaluations. I'm starting my live account and copy trading all my funded accounts together now. So the journey to motherfucking payout begins, gang. Just fucking wait on it. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Beautiful 10 pip W. I think over here the push was a little better. Probably gonna keep going, but because this closed with no top wick and no bottom wick first, then that hey, Apex 80% sale extended until Wednesday, March 11th, March 13th. So if you guys want to take another Apex account, use my discount code here. That'll save you 80% off of all your accounts. Honestly, one day to pass too, and half price, what? Half price recurring monthlies too, so that saves you some money. Before, the monthlies are like 50 bucks, so I think they're back to 30 bucks, the recurring monthlies. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Take it easy. See you guys tomorrow in the morning, and we'll be back in this bitch tomorrow. Whoever's still holding, you're a savage. That's 13 pips here. My TP got hit right here for 18 pips. But yeah, beautiful night. See you in the morning, brother. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Countless thousands of these terrorists were.
Shut up.